I'm taking Fountain Port out of my deck. I have no respect for this card. Let's play... I'll play my commander. Saddle 3. Let's just annoy my opponent with this. Oh, I can even saddle the 4/5. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, we hit a 5? Oh. Oh. Oh man, this is a clean win here. That was great. Oh man. Oh no. Ooh, I'm still taking Fountain Port out, but nice. Oh look, the only one drop in the format. Let's kill it so I can actually play the game. Well, that's probably decent here. One would argue. Especially if I draw a land. Oh, I guess I actually have a land with the 5-minute angel. That works out quite nice, actually. Oh, this is actually really nice. Opponent reveals very random 5/6. Alright. Well, that applies to most cards ever. They're only a problem because XYZ exists. Most cards aren't a problem on their own. I could just replay this. No, we want to play voice and stuff. Yeah, we just want more creatures in play. I could just start doing that, but nah. Let's do this for the sake of my commander. So it's at 4. They already played 2 fetch lands. This is probably worth it. Nah, let's just take 5. I'm coming to the conclusion my opponent is actually just simply dying, so let's do that, yeah. I'm not even gonna do the make my opponent sack stuff. I'm just gonna do this. That's just an insane amount of damage, so. Like, even a Frogify doesn't stop it now. They can't swing with the 5/5. No, you can't swing with this. I mean, I'm gonna let you swing with it. Fine by me. Oh, or you just get blown out. That works too. Oh, there's a Spell Pierce? I don't think Tanyeva plays Spell Pierce, so that'd be a little weird. Maybe a protection spell. Definitely not a Spell Pierce, though. I don't have to think about anything. Opponent can't do anything because the Voice of Victory. So whatever that spell was, if there was a spell, they probably wanted to cast it there. I don't, again, think it was anything significant, but they didn't choose to crack an exploration token. What is this? Cotus, okay. Cotus. I haven't seen Cotus do anything yet in Standard. Just Commander. If I ever have to think about it, send the Commander. That's what I say. Grizzly Bill is not at all what I expected, but I suppose it makes sense. Why would I cast Voice first? Let's see. I think let's go with this. I suppose most of the time I would be expecting to swing with Voice turn 2. That was not the case this game though. But most of the time I suppose I could anticipate that as a thing. Do I block this? I think so. Do I? Maybe not. Alright. Well, I didn't cast Voice, so now my opponent thinks their commander's safe, but it is not, because I cast Voice now. Let's put this here. Really? Sacrifice? Okay. That's a bit interesting. It has Menace. Oh, right, it doesn't have a haste or anything. Okay, can recast my commander. Maybe best to not do that, because I can use the voice tokens right now. So swing. Oh, it stacks it correctly. I didn't have to do it on purpose. Lucky us. I'm not gonna kill this. And is there any reason to play something pre-combat? Well, I'm always doing this. But... not pre-combat. I said pre-combat. I didn't mean to say pre-combat. Do I... I'll set myself up with this now. Although the skeleton is real. The skeleton's real. I'm gonna keep the skeleton in play. It's real. It's got menace. It's 2 damage. We keep that. Is this enough to stay alive? This is menace. This is incredibly annoying for my opponent. But this is also probably just lights out. So, go that route. Probably as in most assuredly. I think trying to draw a card here is ideal, and this deck has displayed infinite damage. So, can I play enough to put a counter on target creature you control? Yeah. We don't warp this. Put it here. Alright, the race is on. Good start. Chooses not to swing. We could just warp it for a second. Playing 2 creatures. Yeah. So we go here and here. And get this out of the way. Oh, man. That's lame. Is it lame? I mean, yeah, it's lame. Oh, alright. Well, there it goes. There it goes, doing its thing. So, replay the commander. Could play a giant creature. I'm just going to play my commander, because that just keeps me in play to do that. Whenever this creature, another creature, artifact, yeah, we should probably just hold on to this here. I'm going to hold on to it. Can play it at a turn where combat looks sketchy. Which I'm sure is going to happen somewhat consistently here. Alright, we did it. Yep. We're literally never punished. We're literally never punished. Unpunishable. I wonder if I'm supposed to just mulligan for something that kills Kotus. I don't get what the Lava Spur boots. Again, it feels like another one of those logic fallacies. You play it, but it doesn't help you with Kotus at all, because you just have to wait a turn anyways. Like, it doesn't actually do anything. It would have, what, 3 power? So, this thing? That doesn't have Death Touch, right? Nope. Oh, they had a tap land anyways. Rip. I can play stuff. Okay, tokens are there. Midnight Reaper might actually draw a ton of cards, too. But my commander doesn't kill their commander, and it's pretty easy to kill my commander, so... None of that is trample, haste, death touch, or anything like that, so... Alright, that I'm gonna say is a little crazy that just happened. Let's play you. Slasher is probably scarier in this exact situation, so I'll play that instead. Tat lands, Gene Pollinator. Alright, there's a lot of non-CODIS action going on right now. Sure. Let's get rid of this. They can block Unstoppable Slasher for, like, completely for free, so... Let's play... Midnight Reaper... And... Put a counter... Oh, that's Warp... Never mind. It's Warp 3. Okay, let's just do this then. Alright, we're in play. What did my opponent do to the... Oh, it was the Virtue. Okay. This gives 3 power, but does not give trample. Oh, they had trample that way. So take 9. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. What could my opponent steal from my deck that's a problem? A lot? Do I care? Can I risk it? What if I went like this? What if I went like this? What if I just completely stopped their... Yeah. Like, this is probably okay, right? Oh hey, found an exile card. Isn't that great? This has Ward 1 once. It doesn't have any more goofiness. They can recast it though. It would lose 2 counters and it would be quite the investment to recast it. So... I could just reanimate an indestructible creature and take out the Buster Sword. Wait a minute. Why do I care about that? Why am I acting like that matters? Just make tokens. If they don't have trample, my indestructible 0/4 is hilarious. And now let's saddle. Oh! Oh! Oh, no! Oh, Bronco, you. What is that? That's the red room. Alright, let's play you. That's a Silent Hull Creeper. Okay, so I can play just my commander? Ugh. Let's go the card draw route. I much prefer this here. I much prefer this. It's on curve, and it draws cards. So I'm just going to start doing that. I can play my commander next turn. Okay. Looks like it didn't matter what I want it to do. Let's flicker the Enduring Innocence. Oh, I missed 2 damage. Why am I impressively bad at missing damage? It's like I want to not do damage. I don't know what it is. I'm not doing that on purpose. I mean, to be fair, it's only the 2nd time today, but still. It's 2 times too many. Maybe I'm just so used to damage, chip damage being so irrelevant because of Historic Brawl. But that's just an excuse. Alright. These are cards. Well, at the pace of play, I'm going to assume it's rabbits. That's why else would you play your land that quickly? Oh, look! It's like I know what I'm talking about. Let's blow that up. Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. No, we play this now, because if we don't, we never do. Yeah. So, warp, shelter. No, we should shelter now to stop the rabbits. Stop the proliferating as best as we can, which is not that great, but it's better than nothing. I don't even think killing their commander is good enough, so... yeah, don't swing with the 1/1. Alright, well, I mean, yeah, I did everything I wanted to, and it's not looking like it's good enough. Let's do this now, because it's fine whenever I do it. See if I can't draw a land. Come on! Ay, ay, ay. Man, this is the most smooth brain strategy. First, there's absolutely no stuttering or stumbling. They just had everything. No land. Excellent, excellent. Play this for a blocker? It's just ridiculous. That. I still stand by that. Just because it wins the game in front of you doesn't mean it's good. Let's max punish because I didn't activate in response. This doesn't get me out of it though. So there's a land. An army of 1/1s, I don't think does it. It only does it if my opponent somehow doesn't have a land. So they need to not have a land. And I think I'm still dead anyways. But maybe they don't have a land, I don't know. Why are they playing a treasure map? Shouldn't this just be a rabbit? I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Okay. And then they cycled, which they didn't have to do. Here, 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 here. still doomed. So I can play no efficient or effective blockers except that. So that's a blocker. Yeah, we're still just doomed. Okay. Hey, we put up a good fight at least. Put up a good fight. Oh, wait a minute. Am I alive? Wait a minute. I won the game? This is Angels. I have not seen this in Standard. I'm sure it does one thing, and it does that one thing pretty well. How many Angels are there in Standard? I actually don't know. Mono white Angels, to be exact. Only Angel spells, so they have to play Angels. Could maybe get away with something significant. We already got away with something significant. Oh, there's an Angel. What a surprise. Okay, they didn't have a second one. Let's... 1, 2... No, that's not enough. Okay, let's just play this. We'll play the Evangelist. And we could trade? My opponent's not going to trade. I would absolutely trade here, so... I will gladly trade with your commander. That's what I thought. Did you... What did you... Oh, okay. So... Land... 1... 2... That's not enough. I can kill that. But that's my whole turn. I think I'm not quite convinced I must make a move. Let's just do all this instead. Yeah. Okay, I didn't draw much help. I did not draw much help here. My commander going to 4 does mean it's annoying to block, but I don't know how much that matters to my opponent. Ideally, they stop playing Angels. I'm going to look after this game to see how many Angels there are. I'm actually curious. Like, the fact that they've cast an Angel every single turn makes me think that there's just a critical mass of Angels in Standard. And if that's the case, this is a really, really good deck. Surprised I haven't seen it yet. Alright. Commander's on the right number. Angels are tier 1? Well, I guess that maybe that explains why I haven't played against it yet, because I just, like, ordinarily can't queue into it, maybe? I think it's pretty easy to get rid of your commander at this point. Yeah, I don't know if it does much. You can also just simply recast it. Well, if I knew that's how that combat was going to pan out, I probably would have played this pre-combat, but I didn't know how it was going to pan out. Okay, it's an angel spam and has board wipes. Kind of weird. But I suppose it makes sense. Let's redeploy El Commanderino and Dark Confidant so I don't fall behind, I guess. So, play this, play this. Because of this thing, I might want to play just warp. No. Let's do that. Well, that was ideal. Look at that. Look at that. Oh yeah, we also draw a card. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that an instant? No, it's a sorcery? Okay. So, that is pretty scary here, one would argue. And that person arguing is me. This is probably better than the other option. Yeah. Alright. Look at that. Trampling tier 1 decks. Alright. Witch's Oven? Okay. So, this commander is okay. It's not amazing. It can be a little difficult to get it to 4. The vast majority of the warp cards are solid. I think I ended up taking out 1 or 2 of them. But either way, all of the warp cards are just solid. Sack outlets are not the same as they would be in something like Sephiroth, and they wound up not really being great. And this one too, actually, just this card specifically. Sacking my own creatures is not really that ideal. I know you can sack your warp cards before they're warped, so you get like more value, I guess, but I don't know, it just didn't feel like that's what I was trying to accomplish. And I didn't play Sephiroth for a reason. It's not free to lose your own creatures to stuff unless that thing that's doing it is exceptionally terrifying. And Sephiroth is, if it's in the right deck. But this is not like tailored in that direction. So it just didn't seem like the best idea. There's like a couple cards. Actually, yeah, there's like, well, specifically this one. Season can reanimate your stuff. You could play some kind of reanimate situation. There's a few ones in mono white, right? Like the 2-mana ones. And a lot of our deck would get reanimated by those things. So there's ways to maybe go that route with sacking your stuff. But in a deck like this, sacking my stuff would just lead to more threats being cast, to which I would just sack the next layer of threats to my sack outlets to then just draw the same thing. Like, I'm looking for the thing that I'm sacrificing, which is just creatures to swing at my opponent. I'm not terribly concerned with making this huge. it's rather ideal that it at least gets to 4. But beyond that, not super scared of it getting stuck at 4, really. You can swing with it into a bad combat situation because it has a Vindicate inside of it. So it's got that going for it. I do like this commander. You can sort of win out of nowhere. Maybe not that blatant. Porcelain Gallery is like the closest thing to Craterhoof Behemoth, I suppose. But yeah, I like this strategy. It feels rather similar to the historic version with way less ephemerate blink effects. Those would be amazing. There's just not a ton of that in Standard. And I don't think I was running every single one in Standard. I don't think I was. I was running the ones I thought were exceptionally good, like these two. Although this one didn't happen too much. If your commander's running away with the game, then you can't really do the bottom spree, because it's just probably the biggest creature in play. But the top part is nice. I think I did it maybe once or twice or something like that, and like the same with this card. Yeah, we just don't have ephemerate, right? Like, it's just not a thing we have access to. This is not the same as Grave Pact, unfortunately. Once your opponent has no creatures, this is bye-bye car. It feels a little bit more reasonable to have that line of text, in my opinion, so I kind of prefer it that way, but, I mean, Grave Pact is obviously just much more threatening, because it just is there forever. The beatdown was fine. I didn't necessarily feel like I needed to draw 2 cards a turn, but games could have gone long enough where it would matter. So stuff like Enduring Innocence, Bronco, Dark Confidant are nice. I don't really like Phyrexian Arena because it's not a creature, and it doesn't help you attack your opponent, even though the creatures I just named aren't like giant and scary or anything. But they can die, and then your commander can see them die, and then this can get stats as well. So they're a little bit more scary than just the baseline stats they come with and stuff like that. But they are vulnerable to, like, sweepers and stuff. But if you get hit with a sweeper, you're probably not looking too great anyways, although I did beat a sweeper. Actually, I think I beat a couple. You do always, for the most part, when you get swept, send it with a Vindicate on top of it. So it's not, like, the worst to get swept, but it's still really bad. This was killed a little more often than I feel like maybe it should have been. There were a couple of games where my opponents probably just didn't have to kill this. It might have just been fine. I don't know. It depends what the rest of my opponent's hand that I just didn't know. But it's deemed a worthy threat to a significant amount of opponents. I'll say mono red in Standard on top of black and white, and blue doesn't have many counters, and green has, I'm seeing a lot of fight effects, but red does have a lot of burn, and a lot of it goes into your creatures. So that's something to take note of. Normally, that's not quite the case. Like in Historic Brawl, red is busy doing the thing that its like CEDH likes to do, which is play like 1,000 Soul Ring effects or something and just blitz like crazy, and just artifact ramp kind of keep up with the pace of green players and stuff. But in Standard, you can just play like every single 1 and 2 mana burn spell that targets creatures and probably not be upset with that. I saw a lot of Gilgamesh players with a lot of burn, not just today either. So something to take note of, I suppose. It's not just like they're just prepared for it. Even the Hazoret, I think there were Hazoret players, the 2 mana Hazoret players that kind of have the same situation there. They're just like ready to burn your stuff out of the way and just kill you. So red is rather prepared, whereas in Historic Brawl, not as much. The same cards are legal, right? It's just that a lot of those burn spells are not doing the same thing that they are here in this format. But yeah, I like this deck. I took out the tap lands. This thing was surprisingly efficient every time I activated it, so I must recommend this one. I don't normally recommend weird lands, but this was actually kind of nice, especially with like this in play. If your opponent doesn't have a lot of creatures, it's probably lights out. Just make them lose everything. If you have some kind of sack outlet for temporary tokens, It's not too upsetting, but I wouldn't play sack outlets just because I make temporary tokens sometimes, like Voice of Victory and stuff. It's not really the best, in my opinion. Naming Mardu here, actually, in one of my games would have been nice. Very slow version of Grave Pact, but it's hard to say no to the stats when the stats matter, especially when it grows this each time it dies or whatever. But yeah, I like this strategy. I don't know if it's better than the other black-white commander I see all the time, which is this one. They are pretty different, though, so maybe it's just preference of style of what you want to play. I would probably want to play this at some point in Standard and see the significant difference between the two, but I've seen a lot of this one, and I have never seen this, ever. Even in Historic Brawl, I don't think I've ever really seen people play this card. I don't know why. Maybe it just doesn't seem appealing, or people don't get the kind of deck it wants to be, or whatever. They saw the warp cards it came out with, and they're like, oh, warp is bad and stuff. But warp is a pretty clean mechanic. It's not busted. It's just a solid mechanic. I am a fan of this mechanic, and it's definitely really good here. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.